Welcome here today to the NASCAR Heat 4 NASCAR Cup Series Championship for the Ford Ecoboost 400. 4 drivers, 1 championship on the line here today. As we get set for action, about ready to qualify. It'll come down to Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Eric Jones, and Kyle Busch to win the Cup Series Championship on the channel today. Without further ado, qualifying will be set to begin here in this one. All right. Nice. After the intense music subsides, we are this one. We've got the steering wheel for this championship race at Homestead here today. At the line, here we go. This is it. Final qualifying effort of the year. Time to let it count. Really loose off of turn 2. We might have to tighten the car up just a little bit. Might cost us just a little bit of time. Not bad off of turn 4. 32.329 at the line. 9th fastest in qualifying. There we go. All right, that is a pretty solid start. Not gonna lie. Alex Bowman will be on the pole here for today's race. Kyle Busch will start second on the outside pole. Again, Kyle Busch, one of the drivers we have to chase in the championship today, as well as Eric Jones and Denny Hamlin. Eric Jones qualified 7th and Denny Hamlin qualified in 12th. Without further ado, here is the championship race. Again, 400 miles, 267 laps, of course, 3 stages of racing as usual to decide the championship winner here in this one. Nobody going to the rear of the field. Bowman and Newman, non-factors as far as the championship is concerned. Both looking slow through practice and qualifying here today. The race will start in the daytime. It'll finish in the night. But here we go. The green flag is in the air. Who will win the 2020 NASCAR Cup Series Championship here on NASCAR Heat 4? Already getting up to speed. Taking a peek to the inside of Chris Buescher right out of the gate on the start. Good qualifying effort in the top 10 and 9th. Can't complain about that. Ooh, a little tight getting into turn 3, trying to make sure we don't make contact with anybody. 4 wide on the opening lap of the race. Denny Hamlin making a move underneath 2 of the other playoff contenders for the championship today. His teammate Eric Jones and Ryan Blaney. Tucked in line right now. Big group of cars in the very beginning of this run. 3 wide down to the bottom of the racetrack. Who will have what it takes to win the championship here today? 3 wide to the bottom, already looking for second in the opening laps of the race. We usually don't have a short run car, but we are competing on the short runs today. Kyle Busch trying to get to the outside. Is he going to have a run on Bowman? We about slid into him, and now Eric Jones gives us a push from behind, and Denny Hamlin's in the mix as well. Your 4 championship contenders running 2nd through 5th. 3 wide now for 2nd place on the bottom of the racetrack. Right behind the race leader, Bowman. Driving it in deep. Here comes Jones from behind again, and now Hamlin's got the advantage on the outside. Clearing Kyle Busch, but now Hamlin stuck behind Bowman, who might be holding us all up. Bowman back down to the bottom to block us. Bowman still going to go for the win today. Off of turn 2, down to the inside of the track again. We're looking for the lead now. To the championship lead and now to the race lead. Into turn 3 for the first time today. Ryan Blaney out in front in the opening laps of the Ford Ecoboost 400. And here comes Kurt Busch up to second behind us. Other championship threats starting to fall back now. So we lead our first lap coming to the line on lap number 5. Top side is my preferred line here at Homestead, though we are probably not going to run up near the top side as much for these opening few runs of the race. Really trying to make sure we can get to the end of the and not wanting to damage the car early. For those of you that was watching the Southern 500 we had on the toughest season in NASCAR video game history earlier today, I apologize for the interruption issues. Lost connection to the server with about 80 laps to go or so in the race, a little under 90 laps left. There's 10 laps. Oh boy, he'll loose off in turn 2, but there's 10 laps missing from that race. I did finish the race when I was done. I tried for over half an hour to get a stream up, and I could not get a stream started to finish that race. So unfortunately, you guys are going to have to wait to see the end. So I did end up racing the rest of the race. It will be uploaded hopefully by the end of the night. Worst case scenario, it'll be uploaded early tomorrow, but it is in the process of being uploaded. Again, already to the lead in the early going of this one, although the car is already pretty loose. Despite not really having any damage on the race car, the only contact we made was when Eric Jones had actually pushed us off the exit of one of the corners, trying to get us going down the back straightaway. Kyle Busch right back up to third again. We're already starting to pull away from these guys. It's good to see early, but again, I don't think our car is going to have the handling in the second half of the run that we're going to want it to be. It might have the speed, but probably should have tightened it up before the race started after how our qualifying lap had went, but here we go. Grandpa, thanks for tuning in. Championship Sunday on the channel. Kyle Busch now up to second. The green marker on the leaderboard next to Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin and I indicate that we are still in the playoffs, and obviously with this being the championship race, those are the drivers we have to beat for the title today. We are already off to a very, very good start. But you can see as of right now, 1, 2, 3 for 3 of the 4 championship drivers. Eric Jones started off in the top 10, qualified 7th. He was in the top 5 early. He's not in the top 5 currently as we run, but expect to see him up here periodically throughout the course of the day also. I did not think we were going to have short run speed. We usually don't. Very different to see this for a change, that is for sure. We're looking at trying to split this opening stage in half. We'll pit about halfway through with about 40 to go, lap 40-ish, somewhere around there. Again, if there's any stream lag issues, it is on YouTube and or the PlayStation Network services, because I have been having problems with it earlier today. Again, in the Southern 500 we ran on the toughest season in NASCAR video game history. Things were going okay with the streaming and the service. Then with about 80 to go, we lost service and had to finish the race up offline. And that will be, again, uploaded either at the end of the night, the finish of that race, or early tomorrow. It will finally be uploaded onto YouTube. So to watch the first over 3/4 of the race, you can go back and watch the live stream. If you're watching the live stream up to that point, then if you set the notification bell on your YouTube channel, you'll get notified when that video will be uploaded. Already 8 people watching in the early going of the race. Thanks for everybody tuning in. We're off to a good start here. We're really good handling in turns 3 and 4. Turns 1 and 2 were good until the exit of turn 2. When we get more towards the flatter part of the racetrack, off of the exit of the corner onto the straightaway, the car really wants to take a nosedive to the inside kind of like it did right there. Luckily, there's no one around us these last couple laps. But we're definitely going to have to tighten the car up a little bit. It might slow it down, but it's what we're going to have to do to get the job done. Lakita, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Oh, man. This car is already a handful early on, and we're not even far into this opening run. Not even a quarter of the way through it. Everybody will have to pit one time in the opening stage of the race. Stage 2 is also going to be 80 laps, and the final stage will be 107. So that is how the 3 stages will be dissected into this race today at Homestead. On the outside again, this is my more preferred line, is to run a higher line at Homestead. We'll probably run a little bit off the wall until the very end of the race at least, especially right now because we don't have the handling that we want in the race car, and obviously the handling could change over time throughout the course of the day as well. Maybe it could be loose because we're racing in the daytime. It will turn into the nighttime by the end of this one. Moving the wheel back and forward, especially on the exit of the corner, trying to keep the car straight. When you're seeing it wanting to sway from the center off. Oh, Jimmy Johnson having a terrible run in the very beginning of this one. Back to 33rd. Remember, he barely missed the playoffs at the very end of the regular season. First driver to miss out on the playoffs. Ryan Newman got the last spot. Newman's not having a good day to start either. He's in 31st. Man, tiffed. Turn number 3. Right alongside of him, and he kind of came down into us wanting to run the inside into the corner, but he didn't move down soon enough. Hindsight, he obviously probably should have waited. It's all right. Very minimal contact. Still looking looking good all the way around. Of course, NASCAR action returns next Sunday, so only fitting that we're finishing up this Cup Series season here today, but of course more action on the channel, and obviously we'll get back to the actual Cup Series prediction and post-race analysis as usual for each Cup Series race leading up to the race on Sunday and now even Wednesday nights here for the next couple weeks as well. We are starting the toughest season in NASCAR video game history for the Truck Series side tomorrow night. That'll be at Daytona, 8:15 Eastern Standard Time will be the start time for that one. Making the move around Bubba Wallace. I'm just amazed at how much of a lead we have. We're making it look really easy right now, but trust me, the car is not handling the way I wanted to. Very, very loose, having to really take it as easy as I can in the corners. More so on the exit. We're not having to lift at all though, so that's good. We're keeping up on our straightaway speed. 20 laps into the opening run of the race. Again, we're going to cut this run in half, so about halfway through our opening run of the race. We're going to pit right around lap 40. Cut the stage in half. That'll help on the handling a little bit of its own. So they split the 2 lap cars up the middle there. Again, by the end of stage 1, it'll get a little bit darker. As far as the sky-wise, Kevin Harvick not having a good run either. There's a lot of really solid drivers running well outside the top 10 in the early going. But at least on the bright side, all the playoff drivers are still in the lead lap, and that's really all that matters for them. It'll be interesting to see what their pit strategy is going to look like in this opening stage of the race. But boy, man, we've got a fast car. We barely survived Phoenix yesterday, and we went a couple races before that. We had a little bit of a gap before our win at Kansas and then our win at Phoenix, but didn't carry a whole lot of momentum. That win definitely helped. But at the same time, we are putting a beating on the field here in the opening portions of this race. We led all but the first 3 laps of the race. And now we have our first caution of the day. So caution's out for the first time. Hamlin, Busch, and Jones are all going to stay out of the pits here, so we're going to stay on the same strategy and stay out. Looks like Eric Almirola will get the free pass in 16th. We'll still look to pit about halfway through the stage. Probably give us a little over a 10-lap green flag run. Got a good feeling about today. As far as this race goes, we are looking solid. Here we go, green flag back in the air. It's all going to be about trying to get out of the draft and break away from these guys. Top 3, all playoff drivers on the restart. Got through the gears pretty easily. Kyle Busch quickly going to the inside of Denny Hamlin right behind us. And Kyle Busch up to second, clearing Hamlin off of turn 2. Denny Hamlin looking for his first career title. Got 3 drivers going for the first career title today. And Kyle Busch, obviously, 2-time series champion, looking to go back-to-back. Make himself a 3-time champion by the end of the day. Inside line definitely going to be the more preferred lane on the restarts throughout the course of this race today. And again, we are just pulling away. The only time we really have to worry about anything is the first maybe 5 laps, it seems like, off of a restart. But once we can get the clean air out in front, we should be all right. If we were all on equal tires, I guarantee we'd be a lot clustered together in the draft for the first 5 laps or so, kind of like we were at the initial start of the race. But everybody on older tires right now, that definitely helped us take off a little bit quicker than what we did on the initial start of the race. When we get to the line this time, we'll be about 10 laps away from being able to split the stage in half and pit for our first time today. Nobody hit pit road. Last time we were right at the edge of the pit window. We run 58 to 62 laps on a full tank of fuel. We went green with about 54 to go, which we could have made it, but also we don't know exactly how these tires are going to last throughout the course of a run today. Tires don't wear out too bad here at Homestead, so we should be able to go an entire fuel run. And now the caution is out again. And again, all your Championship 4 drivers are going to stay out. We got some guys hitting pit road further back on the lead lap. Kevin Harvick will get the free pass back at 17th, and that is going to be our second caution in the first half of this race today. So we'll stay out of the pits one more time. Again, staying on the same strategy. Try not to split strategy too much with the other 3 playoff drivers. Although now we're probably not looking at trying to split the stage in half because there are guys further back in the field that did pit. So we'll probably just run this opening run out as far as we possibly can. Green flag is going to be back in the air again. 47 laps to go now in stage 1. So because of those first two cautions coming out, Kyle Larson, Daniel Suarez into the top three. Larson closed into within a second after we had kind of bounced it off the wall a little bit, but he's not really able to gain much more time beyond that point. Still early enough in the run, no issues. Again, trying to take this opening run as far as we can. Almost got it into the wall off of turn two. It's definitely close. We're on lap 38 right now, and our right front tire's almost at 50% worn. You almost wonder if we can get a couple more cautions. We might actually be able to stretch on fuel the entirety through this opening stage. It wouldn't be impossible. We'd probably need about 2 more cautions to do so, but strategy-wise, we're looking all right. We are really looking to dominate this race today. Problem is, it just keeps taking nosedives off of turn 2. Again, it's not really doing that off of turn 4. Again, you can see there, it didn't really do it off of turn 4. Climbed up the racetrack perfectly off the exit of the corner. Cross flags in the air now for stage 1. We're halfway home. Just over 5 seconds ahead of Larson. Almost got it in the wall off of turn 4. I wasn't so comfortable about that one. I thought we were going to end up in the wall. Kept the foot in the gas, let it ride on up out of the corner. Again, it might look like it's tight at times, but it's really not. The rear end of the car is just sliding out so much. We're drifting all the way up the racetrack rather than just flat out plowing front end of the car first up the racetrack. So we'll probably have to look at splitting stage 2 in half, but not so much here in stage 1 just because of the way the first 2 cautions played out. Still making a little over 20 more laps on fuel. Estimated at least. About to hit lap traffic once again here in a couple laps. Just ran our fastest lap of the race that time by 32.314. Our fastest lap ever here at Homestead's at 32.086. But again, we've been running the bottom more than what we've been running the top, so that's probably why we're about 0.3 of a second off our fastest time ever. That also goes to show just how much slower the rest of the field is today, that they are just not able to keep up with us, and we're not even running the fastest we possibly can around this track. Michael McDowell didn't give us a lot of room getting into turn 1. We still got under him. It'll be the first lap car we're going to hit on this run. But again, Larson's currently in second. Suarez, Bowman, Truex Jr. rounding out the top 5. Oh, little contact back of the 95 of De Benedetto. 3 wide off the exit of the corner. And overtake it. Harvick, who got the free pass under the last caution, now going to go a lap down again anyway, so there are currently 16 drivers on the lead lap again. And a big run on all these back marker cars, but now on the brakes a little bit. Paul Menard pulls down in front of us. And able to get back into the gas. Oh boy, that got tight. 3 wide into turns 1 and 2. Austin Dillon is trying to get all the way down to the white line on the apron there in the middle of the corner. He couldn't quite get down soon enough. Out of the inside of Jimmy Johnson. Johnson has moved up quite a bit since the start of the race. He's up to 22nd. Newman up to 21st. So they've slowly figured something out. Maybe they're just better on a longer run with older tires as well. Again, we are better on a longer run than what we are a short run, but we are just good all the way around. Seems like Alex Bowman's driven all the way back up to 2nd. Remember, he was the pole sitter in this race. And now he's battling back and forth with Larson, it seems like, as they're trading 2nd place back and forth. Of course, Suarez within a couple tenths of a second from 2nd place as well. Those drivers are likely going to be able to make it on field to the end of the... Got Bowman, Larson, Suarez, yeah, Truex. Truex is about a 1.5 seconds behind Larson, who is now falling back to 4th. Again, Bowman up to 2nd, and now Suarez up to 3rd. All 3 of them just trading positions back and forth. Another slight brush off the wall. 30 laps to go in stage 1. Stage points don't mean anything today. It's all about your finishing result between the championship 4. Another loose moment off of turn 2. Got about 15 laps at the longest that we could stretch this fuel tank out. Just remember, we have had 7 caution laps with those 2 cautions, so we'll keep that in mind, obviously, just to see exactly how long we can run on fuel. See what lap we can carry it out. Whatever lap we make it to, we'll subtract that by 7, and that would be roughly about as long as we could run on our fuel tank. Again, pit window is supposed to be 58 to 62 laps, but we had 2 cautions, so we're at lap 53, and although we'd be approaching that window a little sooner, we could go a little bit longer. Kind of saved a little bit of fuel. Not really backing off too much in the corners as well. Trying to pull away as much as we can. You see the 20 of Eric Jones. Kyle Busch not too far ahead either. 2 playoff drivers in danger of going a lap down. Hamlin's still quite a ways ahead of him. Maybe they'll try to short pit and gain a little bit of track position. But again, we're not going to be the leader likely at the end of the stage anyway, so they won't have to worry about staying a lap down unless literally all of us would be a lap down. Jones in 12th. Get around him on the outside. And Kyle Busch is in 10th, just a couple positions up ahead. Just ahead of his older brother, Kurt Busch. Kyle giving us a lot of room on the top side of the track. He's just going to let us go. And now Denny Hamlin will be the next driver for position. He's caught behind a couple lap cars. Get a little tight. Can give Hamlin a lot of room. We got on by though. Oh, and Landon Castle about pulled up in front of us. 3 wide off the exit of turn 4. Yeah, we are putting a lot of guys a lap down. Tyler Reddick now gonna slow the field up. Slowing himself up behind the couple lap cars he's behind. It's amazing how dominant of a car we have. $23 to go in stage 1. At the most, we can run about 9 laps more on fuel. I'll have to bring it on in the pits. Got about 6 or 7 guys that can make it on fuel to the end of the stage. We almost slid back up into the 95 off the exit of 2. Chris Buescher having a solid run in 6th. Remember, he qualified in 8th as well. He's had a fast car all race weekend long. It'll be interesting to see if we can actually make it to the end of the fuel run, or is that right front tire going to get a little bit too low on tire wear? We might have to pit a couple laps earlier. Very well possible at this point in the run. 21 to go. Oh boy. Bubba Wallace didn't give us a lot of room there either. We're probably coming in with such a closing rate that they don't have enough time to react. Right up the middle, man, we are just flying at this point in the race. We have just lapped the field now that we've gotten around Bowman. That's just amazing. This has to be the fastest car we brought to a track all season long. And sure enough, it's in the championship. 20 to go. I mean, we're so far ahead. Even with pitting, knowing that we can't make it to the end and the leaders can, we still might cycle back out in front of them with a 4-tire stop. If not, it would be close. And then we'll have fresher tires to the end of the stage for about the last 15 to 20 laps. More like 10, 15 laps, but still. We're going to have to hit pit road very soon. Probably take it down at least 3 more laps, I'd have to say. I think that right front's going to last all the way to the end of the stage. Or, not the end of the stage, but the end of the fuel run. We can choose to take right sides also, but we'll just pit for 4 while we have a big enough lead. Should be able to keep the track position. Not the easiest pit road to get onto. It's pretty average for the most part. Obviously, you have to watch our speed. I'm not sure exactly what the pit road speed limit is. Most mile and a half, so it's 45 miles an hour. So I'm going to have to guess that 45 miles an hour is going to be the pit road speed limit. I didn't practice for this race. I just qualified, so I don't know exactly what the speed limit is. We'll stay out for one more lap. Again, trying to take this opening run as long as we can. Lap 65 will be the lap in which we are going to hit pit road on. But again, we had 7 caution laps, so roughly make it 58 laps on a full tank of fuel here at Homestead, at least for us. Might have some guys be able to stretch it a little longer. We have some of the other cars a little bit further back that are going to have to pit also. Off of turn 4 onto pit road. Got to make sure we don't speed. Coming in a little hot, 45 miles an hour. Easily got it down in time. 4 tires, full tank of fuel. First pit stop of the race today for us. It's a green flag stop. Again, we aren't going to have many laps left in the stage by the time we get back out onto the racetrack. Then we'll have to make another 4-tire pit stop at the end of the stage as well during that stage break. .7 pit stop on the excess road, trying to get back up to speed. Currently back to 4th, so we didn't quite cycle back out ahead of these guys, but we'll have 4 fresh tires to try and catch them, but now we get a caution. Wow. And all those drivers that were likely going to go a lap down, including the other Championship 4 drivers, are going to bail themselves out. Good news is we don't have to pit. We could stay out, and we'll get to restart in the lead. Looks like Kyle Busch was on pit road. Either that or he was involved in the accident, which very well could have been. And if he was involved in the accident, that's going to take out one of the Championship 4 drivers already. Kevin Harvick will get the free pass again in 17th this time by. So an oddly timed caution right as we were just starting green flag pit stops. Nope, Busch stayed out too. Caution must have came out when he was on pit road. So it looks out for both of us. We're going to cycle through as the leaders. Here we go. Green flag back in the air again. 11 laps to go in stage number 1. Our 3rd caution of the race has just came out. We're going to have a race to the end of stage 1. Everybody on equal tires. We'll try to pull away again. I just don't see that happening for the first 5 laps or so. They're probably going to be able to stay right in the draft with this 550 horsepower rules package. Kyle Busch quickly going all the way down, looking for the lead. Not going to get it that time. Now he's got to run, a huge run off the exit of 4. We got a battle for the lead. We're going to lead the lap. Not that that matters, but we have 10 laps to go. We've got the preferred lane on the outside. Busch going to try to clear us on the bottom. Still side by side off the exit of 2. Busch can't quite clear us. Just able to side draft and contact down the backstretch. Going into 3. Busch drives it in deep on the bottom. He's going to clear us off the exit of turn number 4. Kyle Busch to the lead late in stage 1. We have a new race for the championship. Battling for the track position at the end of the stage. All we're battling for at this point in the run. I didn't want to tighten the car up because I felt like it was going to be fine for the short run with only having a few laps left, but we will tighten it up during our 2nd pit stop under the stage break as we try to get Kyle Busch back. We've both pulled over a second ahead away from third place, who is currently Bowman. Kyle Busch kind of guarding the top right now as we slide it in on the bottom. Big move, gonna get alongside of him. Probably should have pulled up and side drafted him a little bit. Busch still has the advantage, and now Busch goes down to the middle line. Looked like he was gonna run the bottom and protect. He tries to pull off all the stops right now. Denny Hamlin up to third. Still no sign of Eric Jones right now. Currently one driver out of the race. We'll check to see who that is at the stage break. We run the outside right behind Kyle Busch. Ran a little bit higher of a line. Might give us just a little bit more straightaway speed down the back. Here's the run. Down to the inside. Slide job into turns 3 and 4. Driving it in deep. Back to the top side of the track. We're going to complete the pass to the lead. Busch not going to have a good enough run to try a crossover. Down the front stretch. A block to the inside. 6 to go at the line in stage 1. Blaney leads. Now we're on the top. Busch to the bottom. Right on our corner panel. Looking for the run. He couldn't get it. Hamlin tries to close in. He's still just over a second back in third. To the inside now to break the draft into turn 3. Back to the top side by the time we get into the corner. Barely kept it off the wall. Busch with a head of steam. To the inside. Off of turn 4. Barely keeping it off the wall. Side by side to the line. 5 to go. Kyle Busch looking 10 times faster than what he did on the opening run of the race. Holding with us, trying to make it a championship battle for the ages. Contact, we tried to go down and side draft him. We're still loose, battling the car after the contact all the way down the back straightaway. 4 to go at the line. Another crossover move down to the inside. Into turn 1. We'll slide up in front of him. Now Busch gonna try to cross us over again. He's got a run, maybe not enough of one. Great racing to the end of stage 1. Busch drives a little bit lower. Kind of ran more of a middle line ourselves. Hamlin was gaining on us for a second, but not anymore. And now we pull away from Busch with 3 laps to go in stage 1. The opening run of the race made it look like we were going to just pull away with this one today. Not so fast. Kyle Busch giving us a run for our money in stage 1. Don't turn away now, folks. Now we got 2 drivers out of the race. It looks like somebody else pulled off the track. We stayed green. Looks like Parker Kligerman's out of the race. And I can't quite tell who the other driver is. It looked like it was either Ryan Newman or Corey LaJoy. We'll, again, check that at the end of the stage. We just ran a 32.509. Again, that's not quite our fastest time. Our fastest lap of the race is a 32.266. So we're getting a little faster. But again, we'll tighten it up at the end of the stage. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go in stage 1 here at Homestead. 1.5 miles away from the green-white checkered flag, the first of 2 on the day. In the championship order, top 3, all of them championship drivers. Blaney in the lead, Kyle Busch second, Hamlin third, Keselowski fourth, and Stenhouse, surprising everyone, currently running in the top 5 right now. But off of turn number 4, Ryan Blaney will win stage 1 here at Homestead. 80 laps in the books. 3 cautions already in this one. And a pretty good battle for the last 11 laps of the stage. Kyle's definitely competitive. That is for sure. Buscher's going to pit. It looks like not everybody's going to hit pit road at the end of the stage. I know we are. Yeah, we're definitely going to pit. We'll repair any damage we need to. Actually, we'll not repair damage, but we'll still take 4 tires. Still pit. Getting a little darker now. Green flag in the air. Top 8 all stayed out of the pits. Kyle Busch leads the field to the green in stage 2. On about 11 lap older tires from everybody, 9th on back, we won the race off of pit road. Drive it in deep into turn 1 on the race start as they go 3 wide right in front of us. Down the back straightaway, a big run on fresher tires. And we are coming. Keselowski down to the bottom. Hamlin on the top. Oh, into the back of Hamlin. Going through turns 3 and 4. Big run. Busch leads the opening lap of stage 2. To the outside we go. Oh man, Kurt Busch on to follow. Kyle Busch not giving us a ton of room on the top as we try to drive it up there anyway. And Kurt Busch again pulling in behind. Hamlin to the inside now for Busch. And 3 wide for the lead down the back stretch and for the championship lead. Into turn 3 ahead of steam on the fresher tires. Ryan Blaney back out in front again. But Kurt Busch is going to try to follow us as he gets around Kyle on the outside through turns 3 and 4. Big run for Kurt Busch off of turn 4. Here he comes to the inside. Almost came together. He was coming up to try and clear us as we were coming down to try and side draft off his right rear corner panel. Pulled him back just a hair. Now he's going to try to clear us off of turn 2, and he will. Kurt Busch to the lead. V8, how's it going? First race is this Friday. Awesome. $73 laps to go here in stage 2. To the inside for the lead again on Kurt Busch. Third place drifting back. William Byron's up there. Chris Buescher inside the top 5 and 4th. And now Kurt Busch with an amazing crossover move to the inside. And now a block down the front straightaway. Barely cleared him off into turn 1, but Busch driving it. Alternate through the cameras for the first time here tonight. Makes you wonder when everybody that stayed out of the pits under that stage break is going to end up pitting here in this one. They should be able to make it on one stop still. They only had to run the final 11 laps of stage 1, so it just kind of surprised me. I was expecting everybody to hit pit road, and we only had everybody from 9th on back pit. Everybody in the top 8 all stayed out. So I was not expecting that. Definitely split the strategy, and that's why you don't see any of the Championship 4 drivers outside of us in the top 5, because we were the only one of them to pit under that caution. Well, not caution, but the stage brake. Oh, wow, that was a big slide. Almost ended up in the wall. Again, we're going to try to split this stage in half if we can. Take it to lap 40 before hitting pit road. Didn't get a chance to do that back at stage 1 because of the way the cautions had come out, but we'll definitely do that here in stage 2. Oh, on the brakes, still got into the back of the 52. Just really could not get the car to slow up in time. Not as slow as he was running, at least. Cody Ware, of course, last on the racetrack back in 38th. Multiple laps down. Kurt Busch still hanging out in second, about 4 to 4.5 seconds off the race lead. Got some good battles for the lead for about a 10-lap stretch, and then we just tend to pull away after that. Again, the car's still a little too loose. Another slight little rub off the wall. Wasn't too bad. Could have been a little better, obviously. And Boyer back in 34th. A terrible day for him. Running nowhere near where he should be. Kyle Busch has found his way back in the top 5 despite being on older tires. So again, he is competitive. He's looking on Truex now for 4th. Of course, Martin Truex Jr. was the 3rd place finisher in the last race at Phoenix. Obviously, he needed to win at Phoenix to move on to this round of the playoffs, and he fell just short, finishing 3rd. We had a restart with 4 to go. He had a shot, just couldn't get it done. Denny Hamlin's now driven up to 4th. He just passed Kyle Busch. So here come one of the Championship 4 drivers up through the field. You almost wonder, with us splitting the stage in half, if that's going to be about the time the rest of those leaders are going to pit. Or maybe they'll be able to stretch it. I mean, ideally, they could stretch it about 10 laps longer if they really wanted to. But I'd imagine they're probably going to split this stage in half as well, given the pit strategy that they're on, with staying out at the stage break. Oh, another slight brush off the wall. Hemrick was coming up the track. I really didn't want to hit him, knowing that the car kind of steps out loose sometimes off of turn 2. At least we know those right side tires can last all the way through a fuel run. So we don't have to worry about saving them at all. We can burn them up as much as we need to over the course of a run. Not like on our toughest season race earlier today at Darlington, where we couldn't do that. He had to pit anywhere between 10 to 15 laps early. So 58 laps to go in stage 2. Everything's pretty much mellowed out here in stage 2. Remember, it was quite a cakewalk for the first, really, 60 laps. 55, 60 laps of stage 1 before we got that first caution, and then we got another caution at the end of the stage that kind of jumbled everything back up, but I think it's going to be a little different going forward. Holden Mason, welcome. Thanks for tuning in for the championship race. 56 laps to go in stage 2. We won stage 1. Had a pretty tight battle with Kyle Busch at the end of stage 1 there. We had to restart with about 11 to go. Pretty similar to most races. We have a better car on the longer run. Takes about 10 laps for it to kick in. But even for those 10 laps we're waiting for it to kick in, we don't really fall behind. We're still competing back and forth for the lead. We just can't quite hold on to the lead that entire time. But yeah, we definitely have a really, really fast car today. Down. Stenhouse, Harvick now going a lap down as well into turn 3. Remember, to pit on lap 40, we'd have to pit 10 laps for now. It would be 44 laps to go, would be lap 40, because we had caution laps, of course, under the stage break, so looking at pitting in about 10 laps. There's Eric Jones just up ahead, in danger of going a lap down. Currently in 10th. Remember, he's on older tires as well, one of the Championship 4 drivers. Nice to see that all of us have been in the top 10 all day today, though. It goes to show all 4 of us are definitely going to have a shot to win a title. There's Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch now about to go a lap down. Hamlin back in 6th, Busch in 5th. Again, we're going to short pit very soon, especially the bigger lead. It should work. These guys are on older tires as well. Oh, we got loose off of turn 2. Contact with the 18 and somehow kept it off the wall. Another reason why we got to tighten it up. That would be exactly why. Barely kept it off the wall. We were on the brakes as soon as we seemed like we were going to make contact, and we did. That could have taken out both of us. Wow. Scary moment there off of turn 2. That is for sure. We're going to get past Keselowski now. Four more laps until our second green flag pit stop of the day and our third pit stop total on the day. Caution. Well, never mind. Yeah, we're still going to split this stage in half, though. Brad Keselowski is going to get the free pass. Looks like everybody that's competing for a championship is going to pit, but they're all a lap down. So, yeah, again, we can still split the stage in half like we wanted to. I would take it a little extra beyond the caution. So we'll stay out of the pits. Here we go. Green flag is going to be in the air. Following the fourth caution of the race today, 45 laps to go in stage 2. Probably pit around 39 to go now. Again, Keselowski got the free pass, but he restarts at the rear of the field, and then the other drivers that had pit were anybody that was a lap down, anybody on the lead lap, all stayed out. William Byron got a good restart, got in front of Kurt Busch in second place now. Remember, Byron had a great day at Phoenix yesterday. It's looking like he's got a great day going for him again here today. Kurt Busch now back up to second. He just cleared Byron, off of turn. Bowman is actually in fifth place right now. First driver, one lap. Already out to over 7-second lead. We're going to stay out of the pits this time, and we'll pit next time by. Sure, Keselowski's driven his way partway through the field. So when we pit, it's either going to be Kurt Busch or William Byron in the lead. And now look at that. Kyle Busch is driven into the top 5 again. He's in 5th. But they can make it on field to the end of the stage. We're about to pit this lap. Again, not going to take the access road getting onto pit road, but we do take it coming off. Using all the banking of the track, getting the car woed up in time there. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel this time onto pit road. Second green flag stop of the race today. Should be a decent pit stop, time-wise. Come out of the pits right now. So 17.2 second stop. Back out onto the racing surface we go. At least on the access road. Making sure we don't pull up in front of anybody, and on the track we go. So currently out in 12th place, 1 lap down behind Kurt Busch. But as long as we don't get trapped a lap down, we'll be fine even if a caution comes out. Now we got the 4 fresh tire advantage all the way down on the apron going into turn number 1. Harvick blocked us off, and now Keselowski, our teammate, giving us a push, trying to get us going again. Look at Keselowski helping us out, trying to get Penske teammate to win the title. Harvick about pulled up right in front of us. So we just unlapped ourselves now. And now we passed Suarez for 9th. We got Stenhouse in 8th. And the next 2 Championship 4 drivers are just in front of us. I should say right after we passed Stenhouse. We got Hamlin in 7th and Eric Jones currently running in 6th. Eric Jones is closed in on the back of Alex Bowman as well. That would be a pass for position if Jones can get on by him. Welcome to the stream, Andrew. We're currently in 8th place. Denny Hamlin in 7th, Eric Jones in 6th, and Kyle Busch is in 4th. Jones is actually just past Bowman now for 5th. Not too far ahead of us. We're on a little bit fresher tires than these guys ahead of us, though. We pitted a little off sequence. We did not pit under the caution in this stage. We're going to get around Denny Hamlin. Currently, Brad Keselowski's already driven back up into the lead. We ended up winning stage 1 again, not by much on Kyle Busch. Battled to the end of the stage. Had to restart with 11 to go. Restarted 1-2. We were battling back and forth for a while. And now we got to run. On Eric Jones. A little loose off of turn 4 now. But to the inside we go. 32 laps left, stage 2. We're up to 5th. Kyle Busch in 4th place. Just less than 3 seconds ahead of us. That would be for the championship lead. William Byron in third, and Kurt Busch in second still have to pit. Keselowski does not. He got lucky enough he got the free pass under the last caution. He can make it to the end of the stage. So as far as trying to win the stage goes, it's going to be tough to catch Keselowski. We are on fresher tires, so it's not impossible. But we've only roughly got about 10 lap fresher tires. Again, just loose off a turn. See, I keep forgetting to make that wedge adjustment. I really got to make it next pit stop. I didn't want to deal with this all race. We've already dealt with it most of the race, but even on the short runs, it's loose. Loose is fast if you can keep control of it, which we have so far today. But definitely can't run the top as much, or at least near the wall like I would want to with this setup. We are this time. Gotta keep it off the wall. Barely, really loose, and barely able to clear the 18 for the championship lead going into turn 3. That'll put Blaney up to 4th. 19.5 seconds behind Byron in 3rd. Again, Kurt Busch, William Byron are gonna have to pit. Wow, McMurray pinched us down, didn't give us a lot of room. Kept going lower and lower and lower. There wasn't a lot of room to get under him, but we still got under him without even having to get the left side tires to hit the apron at all either. So, great job keeping control of the car. Oh, wow, loose. Off of turn 2. Yep, Kligerman's out of the race. And the other driver out is either Corey LaJoie or Ryan Newman. Not entirely sure who it is. Definitely an orange car of some sort. Lap traffic going 3 wide, way up ahead. 26 to go. It's going to be interesting to see if we're going to catch Keselowski before the end of the stage. Not going to matter too much. It will give us a little extra space back from Kyle Busch, Jones, and Hamlin behind us. And obviously, knowing that William Byron and Kurt Busch are going to have to pit, it'll be a little different. A lot of lap traffic up ahead. Going right up in the middle lane. A lot of them ran the bottom. The only guy that was on the top was Brendan Gaughan. Again, we've got fresher tires. We're going to blow right around them. 95 almost came down into us. Now to the outside. Nope, there's Corey LaJoie on the track, so Ryan Newman would be the driver that is also out of the race. I'm surprised that William Byron and Kurt Busch haven't pit yet. Definitely going to run it as far as they can, hoping for a caution. Almost washed up into the wall. Still loose off of turn 4. 21 to go. We're driving pretty hard to try and catch Keselowski. We're catching him quite a bit, but we're still about a half a track behind, a little less than that, but probably going to catch William Byron before he hits pit road. It doesn't look like he's going to pit this time. He's about a second and a half ahead of us. He is on the inside now. Maybe he will pit. Nope, he stays out again. And Jimmy Johnson still having a rough day back at 34th. Looked like his fortune was going to get a little bit better, but that wasn't the case. We are past halfway through this one here today, folks. Battling for a championship. We're not even an hour and a half into this race. We are flying by. Kurt Busch now only 2 seconds ahead of us. Again, he's on older tires too. He still has to pit. Oh, loose off of turn 2. What a catch. Locking the brakes up, turning right to go left, and didn't overcorrect it either. Almost had an accident off of turn 2. He kept the car clean all day long, but that was dangerous. Luckily, we weren't to the outside of Reddick yet. We were able to get on by him. That'll cost us a little bit of time on trying to catch Keselowski, though. Kyle Busch a ways behind us. Still quite a ways behind Byron. We have just moved up to second now, passing Kurt Busch. So we are coming for our teammate Brad Keselowski. About 9 seconds off the lead at the line this time. 17 to go in stage 2. We are closing that gap quickly. Whether Keselowski's in heavy lap traffic or not, we are catching him quickly. Does look like he's got a couple lap cars around him. Six seconds back, 15 to go. The gap is dwindling. Will we make it on a green flag run to the end of the stage as well? We're not even sure of that either. To go. Kyle Busch is 21 seconds off the lead. Looks like Kurt Busch is going to hit pit road this time. So is William Byron. So Kurt Busch, Byron will hit pit road. That'll move Kyle Busch up to third. In the next position right behind us. Now we'll roll on pit road as well. Everybody that stayed out under the caution is going to hit the pits. Outside of us because we already pit a little earlier. 3 seconds off the lead now. Keselowski's about to approach very heavy lap traffic here in a second. About halfway down the backstretch, he's going to catch a giant group of lap cars. He's already passed a decent amount of them. That's costing him a little bit of time. We're going to get around the first two, and we are coming for the lead. Championship 4, second, third, fourth, and fifth on the racetrack, but they are quite a ways off the lead and off of where we're at, we have a chance to put a couple of them a lap down before the end of the stage. Trying to catch Keselowski still. We had a slow car, Kyle Larson. Very slow, heavy damage to the front of his car. We stay green. Brendan Gaughan with a solid run. He's in 14th. Now a second off of Keselowski. The short pitting advantage giving us fresh tires now to the end of the stage is playing out because we never got a caution in that time frame. Keselowski has nowhere to go. Couple lap cars side by side in front of him. To the lead, down the back straightaway for Ryan Blaney into turn 3. More cars pitting up ahead. Looks like Ryan Priest gonna hit pit road. No, never mind. Not sure who pitted up ahead. So Hamlin's a lap down. Eric Jones is probably going to go a lap down soon. A little touch off the apron, we're good. Byron on pressured tires just blew right by Eric Jones once he got by Ryan Priest. Jones and Hamlin will try to battle now to be the first driver. One lap down, we got trouble again. Slow car on the inside of the track. It's Jamie McMurray up in smoke. Again, we stay green. Second slow car that we have seen in the last 5 laps or so. And the caution didn't fly there either as we try to catch Kyle Busch and put him a lap down before the end of the stage. We should get to him. As long as we stay green. Oh man, just sliding into the 0-0. Very minimal contact though. Now, even if we put Kyle Busch a lap down, he will still get the free pass at the start of the final stage. But the fresh tire advantage to try and give ourselves the opportunity to do this might play out. Definitely not going to catch Keselowski. We just passed him for the lead a few laps ago. Despite him being on older tires. Same lap tires as Kyle Busch and Eric Jones. Varying pit strategies through stage 2. Got 7 to go. No lap cars in between us. King Jackson, how's it going? Welcome. Over 6 seconds off the lead. Is Brad Keselowski back in second. Currently, it's Eric Jones and Denny Hamlin battling for the free pass spot. That's about to be given to Kyle Busch here very shortly. 6 to go in stage 2. We try to run down the 18. Pressure tire strategy, again, gonna work as long as we stay green here. And we will. Busch is a lap down. But he'll get the free pass at the stage break. The worst thing that could happen is a caution coming out right before the end of the stage. Us having a couple laps shootout, and then it would give Kyle Busch right back up with us at the start of stage 3, or we get to the end of the stage and then we get a quick caution as soon as the third and final stage starts, then he would bunch right back up with us again. That would be the 2 worst things that could happen immediately in the closing laps. Four laps to go in stage 2. Yeah, I'm very certain that you guys, for viewer purposes and entertainment purposes, would definitely love us to all be on the lead lap. Don't get me wrong, it would definitely make things a lot more interesting. That strategy, I'm surprised that played out. I'm surprised we never got a caution. We probably could have had a caution for either Kyle Larson being slow or McMurray being slow, but we never got the caution. They were out of the way. Well, Larson wasn't really out of the way. McMurray was out of the way and got off onto pit road. Larson wasn't out of the way, but he was able to get to pit road. after not a long period of time. But we still got a long ways to go in this race. They could easily get back on the lead lap and get back into this. We don't know how this final stage will play out. If it plays out like stage 1 and we get a lot of cautions with not a heavy amount of long green flag runs, then this race is by no means over. But for right now, we've definitely got a comfortable lead. 2 laps to go in stage 2. We'll put a round wedge in the car, tighten it up, keep it from getting this loose off the exit of the corners. Again, it's not as bad in turn 4, but turn 2 was terrible. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go in this stage. Kyle Busch still in the free pass position in 3rd. And you got Eric Jones and Denny Hamlin a little further back, sliding up. Oh man, nowhere to go here. Boxed in. Got on the brakes probably a little harder than what I needed to, but Menard and Boyer split right back around us again. Off of turn 4. Green, white checker flag in the air. Ryan Blaney wins stage 2 here at Homestead. Well, folks, not going to have to wait long to decide a champion. Make sure we pit here, 4 fresh tires again, full tank of fuel. We'll repair any damage we've got on the race car. And we'll put a round wedge in the car to help tighten it up a little bit. So Kyle Busch does get the free pass in 3rd. This will definitely be interesting. We'll see. Still got 107 laps to go. 1 final stage. Will this be the final restart of the race? This is going to decide the championship. Green flag is going to be back in the air. Going to be right on the border of this being a one-stop race to the finish from here if we do stay green. Eric Jones with a great restart. He's going to try to unlap himself as soon as he possibly can. To the inside on the restart. Blocked off. He can get his lap back and get a quick caution. That would be beneficial for him. Everybody hit pit road at the stage break. Here comes Keselowski trying to take the lead up through the middle. And here comes Eric Jones on the bottom. Off of turn 4, Keselowski makes contact as he rubs up into the side of us as we battle for the lead into turn 1. Not a lot of room, 3 wide for the lead through turns 1 and 2. Here comes Hamlin now behind us. Side drafting off the 2. Big run down the back straightaway into turn 3. Back to the inside of Eric Jones trying to get the clean air out in front of the field. Slide job. Washing up the track. Here comes Stenhouse now. Again to the bottom. 3 wide again. Keselowski still trying to battle for the lead. And he's got it off of turn 2. 4 wide. And now 3 wide by the time we get into turn 3. Still on the inside of Keselowski. Side by side. Here comes Hamlin now on the bottom. Eric Jones trying to follow, but he's blocked off. Big slide going up the hill into turn 3 to clear the 2 of Keselowski. Barely holding them clear, and 3 wide behind us. Kurt Busch trying to slide in. holding on to it. At least we were. Washed back up the hill again. Kurt Busch tries to get on by us, and now in the wall. Down the front straightaway. Car kind of jerked to the left off of turn 4 again, and then we overcorrected it into the outside wall about halfway down the front straightaway. Kurt Busch clears us. We're able to hold clear of Eric Jones, and most importantly, the race leader, Brad Keselowski, back behind us still. Brad not going anywhere, at least for right now. Don't forget about Kyle Busch, about 5.5 seconds off the lead. He's trying to work through the lap traffic back there after restarting at the rear of the field. This car's definitely handling a little better, though. It feels like it's more stuck to the racetrack than what it was, at least at the beginning of the last run. .98 laps to go. Ooh, Kurt Busch about pulled the block on us, trying to hold on to the lead lap. Contact now getting into turn number 1. And clear down the back straightaway. Into the wall. Kurt Busch, Stenhouse both get their laps back again. It was a little tighter to run the outside though after tightening it up. Despite that being my more preferred lane around the track, it is kind of stuck like glue still though. Trying to get a draft off the back of the 17, the middle of 3 and 4. He's got Kurt Busch blocking him as well, just in front. Splitting Stenhouse. Now to the inside to clear the 1, going into turn 1. Hamlin still trying to stay on the lead lap long enough to hope for a caution. Oh man. Into the wall, getting into turn 3. We try to close the gap on Denny. To the inside to put the 11 lap down again, one of the championship 4 competitors. 95 to go here at Homestead. All clear. Keselowski's still only about 1.5 seconds off the lead. He's still got more cars to pass in between us though. Oh man. Excuse me. I was trying to hold that back for a long time. Just sneezed right off the exit of turn 2. I was trying to hold it for the straightaway. Oh man. That would have been terrible if I wrecked there. All right, 91 to go. Working this lead out quite a bit. Quite a bit. $90 to go. We've had 4 cautions so far on the day. That is not including the stage breaks. We had 3 back at stage 1 and only 1 caution in the second stage of the race. Should be able to make this on a one-stop race to the finish. As long as we don't get a caution before we get to that pit window. If we do, I would have to imagine a lot of drivers are going to hit pit road. Especially knowing that we're later in the race and we've already got 20 laps on our tires. It's a little different when that happens earlier. We got some guys racing for a championship. Denny Hamlin is in the free pass position right now, still in 4th. So if a caution came out, he would get back on the lead lap as well. And Kyle Busch, of course, would get the restart right alongside of us, or at least up near us if he's in 3rd. He would restart in the 2nd row, or however we end up coming out of the pits, positioning-wise.